Alright, I'm gonna do some. It's Friday night. And if you got nowhere to go, work out. I didn't mean to start the stream just yet. But since I did, I guess I'll get it going. I wonder if I could. Hmm. I want to see something real quick. I didn't mean to start the stream this early. I accidentally kicked it off. And I'm not playing the drums, but I just want to see about something here. Let me see something I think I can do that. Anyway. Are you the only one on right now? I got 7 people on. I was going to do some bench pressing. The stream wasn't supposed to kick off for another 45 minutes. You guys want to... You probably don't really want to hear me play the drums. Especially since I'm trying to play Primus. You have any Primus fans? What else was I playing? I've been practicing a lot of songs with triples. This is all copyrighted too. I just thought of that. farting around, but you said you got a job. Yes, but it's doing what I was doing in construction, but it's contract work, and I don't want to go back to work. I'll be honest with you. What would you say? I have a crazy idea. I'm in a position now where I don't have to go back to commercial construction. I can start if I took on like 5 clients for training, and I went cheap, like $100 an hour. And we're talking about like competition powerlifting training, where you told me you just started lifting, and you want to go to nationals. So what would that cost? You do everything I say for 6 months. And it's probably going to cost cheap, like $6,000. And the reason why I would be cheaper is because you don't live in Nevada, so I couldn't actually go to the gym with you. But there'd be video training and all sorts of stuff. Well, if I took 5 clients on, plus I offered memberships, like I was thinking about doing like a tiered membership where it's like I got a team. I've got a physical therapist. I've got a nurse practitioner. He does supplementation. I got an IFBB pro that's willing to train. Like we have a team. We got like 5 or 6 guys, and we thought about offering like tiered memberships where it'd be like $20 to $50 a month, and then you would get programming and dieting and stuff like that. But that's not going to buy you a personal trainer. That's like a cable subscription. But it would give you access to like a Discord server where you would have unlimited access to, people that would help you, but not necessarily. I wouldn't consider that a trainer. A trainer is somebody that you meet with every week. You do everything that person says. You have a specific goal, and he tries to get you to that goal. And it would be some kind of a, oh yeah, 100 hours an hour is cheap, dude. You have no idea what like an IFBB pro, like somebody that's a professional bodybuilder, they pay coaches like $20,000, but you have to figure like that's like super high end training where that coach practically lives with you. You know what I mean? That's not like you don't meet that guy at Planet Fitness once a week. Like that dude is like you're almost paying him to you work for that guy. You know what I mean? Like you do everything he tells you to, and then if he's good, he's gonna have people under him that he can point to that have also been successful. Like I've never called myself a trainer, but I have helped train people that became elite level powerlifters. Um, but I never charged for anything. I just, yeah, you asked me for help, I'll help you. But if I'm gonna like quit construction and make a living doing lifting and YouTube, I would need to start charging for training. And if I could find a couple, I don't know, man, it's risky because I know what I'm doing. I mean, obviously, I play silver at Worlds, but I always consulted people too. Like I've never trained myself. Even when I was competing, I always had a training team because I think no matter how good you are or how talented you are or how experienced you are, if you're gonna be successful, it always helps to defer to expertise. Let's see here. We got straw. Let's see, Sir J Con 5897. Your body looks strong. Thank you. Which country do you belong for? The United States of America. Yeah, I did Smart Game where you said I got a job that you want to train. I don't want to go back to work, dude. Like, I've been doing commercial construction and heavy industry, engineering, all my life. And what happened in August just left a really sour taste in my mouth. And I'm sick of making money for other people. You know, even though, like, if you're going to be a superintendent or an area manager like I was, like, you have to, you got to play the game. And that's, like, out in the field with the guys, that was awesome. Hanging out with them on the job sites, doing that stuff, I love it. But being that level of management means sitting in stupid meetings, teams meetings, and they would fly me to Utah for a meeting and then fly me home the same afternoon. And all those people are fake. they're all passive aggressive. They are the nicest people to your face, and then they stab you in the back as soon as you turn around. I'm so sick of it. I'm so jaded. It's awful. And I don't want to do it anymore. And like, I could do it. I've got 4 job offers. I could go back to work next week if I want to. I just don't want to do it anymore. And then you're like, what can I do where I can make money doing something I love to do? To get access to your number, schedule meetings, video. Yeah. Well, who said anything about becoming a Marxist? Yeah, $100 an hour is cheap. Absolutely. Um, yeah, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sir Jayak? Patrick Dutta. Yeah, sorry, I need glasses. He definitely has a butt plug in. Not right now. It's not very comfortable with this little chair. But if I sit in the cushioned one, I can put one in. Uh, it's just scary, smart, because like construction, I'm bringing home like 10 grand a month. It's work. It's dependable. You know what you. But there's also like there's not a way to make more than that unless you work a shit ton of overtime, and it's like I don't know, waking up every morning at 3, 4 o'clock, not getting home till 4 in the afternoon. It's a grind, and I just thought about it. Like I've gotten a lot of people that have asked me to train them, and there's different levels of training. There's like helping a guy get into lifting and meeting him at the gym a couple days a week, pretty casual. And then there's I want to compete at Worlds. I want to be the best. Okay, well if you want to be the best, you have to have a really regimented program that's going to be at least 6 months long, and you're going to have to do everything that coach says. And I wouldn't switch trainers until after the training cycle's done, because if you're going to dedicate yourself, that's real commitment though. Um, and yeah, if like people want to be like elite level competitors, you're going to pay for that training. But most of us that have been lifting for years, we all just kind of meet up weekly. And but I don't know. I've had a lot of people ask me to train them, but they want what they are looking for is for me to guide them from a novice to competitor, and that's a lot of dedication, time, effort, and uh, also by charging that amount of money, it weeds out people that aren't serious. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna pay that kind of money, that means you're gonna dedicate yourself to the training that's necessary. There's a lot of people that want to lift like we do. They start out strong and then they fizzle out in a week or two into it, which is another thing. Was where I usually give people like a burn-in period. Like I'll work out with them for a couple of weeks to see if they're even of the temperament to push themselves that hard. Uh, I'm over here figuring out ways for me to get capital, but you have like a 6-figure job, smart gamer. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I make that much money, brother. You got to set your sights a lot higher than what I'm making. And yeah, anybody can come out here to Vegas and work commercial construction. Even laborers, construction laborers make 100 grand a year, if not more. Um, but it's like, dude, you're busting your head. And like, you also have to remember, like, I've been doing construction for 20 years, so um, clearing $150,000 a year is not that much money for the amount of years I've been doing this stuff. If I would have stayed in the engineering department, I could have been making over $200,000 by now. But you don't start out like that. It takes a lot of schooling and a lot of years behind the control room panel. Man, I think I started out as a plant laborer, and this was back in 2006, 2007, making $23 an hour, literally with a shovel, cleaning up like the railroad tracks, working my way up through like the chlorine plant and the acid plant, all the way up to the main control room in the engineering department. That was like 9, 10 years, and I had to go back to school. Let's see. Are you reading what I say? I'm over 6'7", type plus disability. You can save from your job and have a capital for business. Let's see. Charles ain't interacting with me today. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm missing your comments. I'm babbling over here. UK, keep going. Sorry if I missed somebody's comment. Yeah, I wasn't gonna stream tonight, but I can't sleep. You can save from your job and have capital for a business. Well, so this is one of the things I'm proud of is I've been able to provide a home. I want to ban him for first place. But I can't. What are you talking about? Let me see what am I missing in the chat here? I don't know. Cheap. Which company do you belong to? Sell a weekly subscription. The guy get access to your number of meetings. Let's see. Whoa, don't become a Marxist. The guy definitely has a butt plug in. Okay. Then start what you want to start if you work for. I don't. I guess I'm not seeing the comment. Uh, Christina's in bed. Sir J. Kant 5897. I don't see another comment from you, brother. Patrick Dutta. Yeah, Christina's in bed. How is this for being a loser? I'm married. I got that goddess of a woman in there. She's sleeping. We have the house all to ourselves. The kids are with grandma. And she's in bed and I'm lifting weights. My crown, I'm in second, the Indian guy first. What a band for first place. What am I missing here? So, Smart Gamer, were you talking about a weekly subscription? So, yeah, we would offer like kind of like what are those apps you could download? Kind of like, I'm trying to think of one that's where you can, it's like a tracker. I actually have somebody that's programming a database that calculates lifting percentages based on the amount of weight you lift. That's really easy. That's super easy to do. So you can program your own weights from week to week, depending on what kind of program you want to run. You don't have pressure. Oh yeah, my kids are still in grade school. But like, you can't expect to have really high quality training. Well, that's not true. I don't know. I'm tossing a few ideas around. I also thought about taking like 25 grand and buying the equipment so I could start hosting the USPA powerlifting meets in Nevada. And I can make as much money as I want, but as many meets as I host. Usually, if you get 100 lifters in a competition, take home from that profit after everybody's paid, and you pay the facility usually about 5-6 grand. But in order to make enough money for that to make it worth the squeeze, is you got to host a shit ton of meets, and it's a lot of work. Save up capital for a year. Yeah, I mean, it's hard, dude. I'm the only one working. My wife stays home with the kids. Um, and with just my income, single income, and the cost of living, it's hard to save. Uh, I had a lot of money in savings, but things come up. Like we had to put a brand new engine and transmission in our truck, and that was $15,000. Just stupid expenses. Let me see here. I thought I would try to get a side view of the bench tonight. So I'm going to do camber bar. I think I'm going to put an incline on this thing. These are 2 inches each, roughly. I'll make sure that these are safety spotter arms, so I don't pin my neck. I got myself behind it. There's no way to do that. What I like about this is it stretches the pectorals as far as they can go, pretty much. And the reason why I do an incline is so, because without it, I can't rest it on the spotter arms. Nice and warmed up here. You got yourself in some shit. Laptop here. There we go. Tell me how much job offers are offering in your payment. Yeah, I pay my toenails. Have you seen my old yellow ass nails? You kidding me? They're fucking disgusting. But I mean, if that drives you away, can't say I'm gonna miss you too much. How much are your job offers offering in your my level of management, where like I'm right underneath the director, like a regional manager, usually between 150 and 200,000 a year. My hair is thick. Actually, I slept like that. Let me see here. There we go. $200,000 is on the high end. Eric Miller, yes, Las Vegas, Nevada. So what I was making with Southwest Steel was, if I'd have finished the year out, I probably would have filed for 140,000. Brad's Place 665. What's up? I usually don't like to talk about that though. And then you Californians, I would make a lot more, but the cost of living is almost twice as much too. Eric Miller, what are you doing these days? Well, I was working for Southwest Steel, but I stopped working for them in late August, and I took some time off of work. So this is the first, we'll say, vacation. This is the first time off I've had since 2012, and I'm probably gonna go back to work next week, or maybe within the next 2 weeks. And I'm tossing up not going back to work for construction and maybe getting a gym open. Have you thought about moving to New England? Stephen Sullivan. Honestly, we are open to moving. I haven't touched the equity in this house, and with all the people moving here for California, they've driven the price home prices up so much that if I cash out right now, I'll probably make 300,000 off of this. And this thing's not a fancy house either. And New England's a tough sell, though. I mean, I would consider it. We were actually talking about moving to upstate New York. If you can work a year and put some like overtime, money to start basically anything. Eric says I'm better than steel by hand. Well, I'm trying to get back to it. Stretch there. I live in New England, Massachusetts, lovely place. Taxes are high. Yeah, that's the other thing is I don't pay state taxes in Nevada. And like to rent sucks. To rent the house I live in, you're probably looking at like $2,500. My mortgage is $1,300. I got that locked in at 3%. 3 bedroom is like 800 grand. Yeah, that's like California. Pretty much any of those blue state metropolitan areas. Is it easier to be a builder there? Um, Very strict on anything, no outlets for sources, bodybuilding products. Yeah, so Nevada is friendly to that, yes. Code's not terrible here. It's still pretty strict, but it's not like California. Western Mass is cheap outside of the Berkshires in the middle of nowhere out in the mountains. Well, yeah, so that, I mean that's why we moved out of California. I mean, I lived in a 1,500 square foot house with a two-car garage built in the 80s or late 70s, and it was going for $600,000. That's when we moved. I don't even know how bad they are now. The good thing is though, if you sat on those properties and you didn't tap into the equity, you made out like a bandit for sure. And that's kind of what we want to do here. I don't know, man. This is like, it's not much, but it's my home. I'm really uh, sentimental to this place. But I mean, you pay me enough money, I'll burn the bitch down. You know what I mean? How's the winters though? I grew up in Chicago, so um, the winters were awful. Of all the places I've been north of the what? Not the equator. The oh, what is it called? The line up there. Uh, they get those two meridians. I can't. What are they called? Although it's going to be real hard policymaker to drive home prices down. 80% unused land. Yeah, Nevada does, yes, but it's also unlivable land. I love hunting out here. Winters can be kind of tough. Global warming has changed a lot of things. Um, it's interesting because a lot of people that work in the cities, especially in California, not in Vegas, but in Cali, the reason why traffic's so bad is because nobody can afford to live in the areas where they work every day, so they commute in and then drive out. And then the people that live in them, I don't even understand how people can afford to live there. It doesn't even make sense to me. Any land with you is livable. Do you have any advice on a long, healthy, enhanced life? Trying not to do stupid stuff. You gotta give me some context, Mr. Fittest. I am not I'm kind of like the cockroach that's gonna survive nuclear. Like, that's what my wife says. She says, "You're a fucking cockroach. You should. The things you do to yourself. I've literally defiled my body over the years, but no, moderation, man. Everything you do, moderation. I like what's called the 80-20 rule. 80% clean, 20% garbage. It's like some people have like the type A personality where they can make the Tupperwares that are portioned out and they measure or they weigh their chicken breast on a scale like a crack dealer. And I'm just not that guy. But yeah, Sky Shooter, yeah. Yeah, I've been through some shit, but most of it's self-inflicted. Thanks, Snowball. Yeah, I have been through some shit. I tell you what, it gives you perspective. How to live a long life, I don't know. I think the best way is to just not take things so seriously. You think about it, like let's just say you were in the best shape of your life, and you're Dave Goggins. You walk out of the house and some bus driver hits you like. And people are like, you're gonna hurt yourself lifting, and then meanwhile, he's been crippled in a. He gets rear-ended by some douchebag on his cell phone who's texting his boyfriend. I have an apartment, not a house, for a reason I can't afford a house. It's insane here. Oh, I rented all my life, and this is the first place I bought. But dude, you're a jarhead. You got to take advantage of the VA home loan, man. I didn't even know. Like I went my whole adult life not thinking anybody would be crazy enough to sell me a home. And one day I got sick of paying rent. Matter of fact, it was because my landlord just decided he was going to sell the house, so they gave us a 30-day notice, and we'd been there for 5 years. I thought, like, can they do that legally? And there was nothing I could do about it. So just got sick of it, and I went to look at what I needed to do to buy a home, and oh, I had to do some work on my credit, and they walked me through the whole process, and I think it took about 6 months, and we wound up having to rent one more place. But while we were renting, we looked at homes, and it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. But I mean, if I could get a house, I guarantee you could. No, nobody's credit could be as bad as mine was. So that's the thing, Maverick. My closing costs were really good. Um, I had a sub 600 credit score when I started the process, and then the guy who did my mortgage, he helped me get my credit up to 700 within 6 to 8 months. Um, and then from there, I've been able to manage it. We did take a couple hits during the COVID thing, but I don't remember what my closing costs were, but I got locked in at a 3% mortgage. Mr. Fittis, I'm in commercial construction. Yes, but not corporations and all of land forcing everybody to pay rent. Well, what do you mean? Yes, but not corporations and all the land forcing everybody to pay rent, and they're going to Epstein Islands. You're not one of those guys that think you're, let's see, Wolfio. There's like a segment of the population that thinks that they're entitled to be taken care of because they exist. Like nobody's forcing you to pay rent. Um, it's like they think that like the guy who went out and worked his ass off, like some. For a good example, I've been doing commercial construction for 20 years. I was in the Marine Corps, went to the Middle East, busted my ass to get to where I was, and I ground my way into being able to afford this home. And now we're talking about buying a second house and maybe renting this one. Well, there's a portion of the population that thinks that I'm evil because I'm a landlord. You know, like I'm hoarding. Like I should just no, screw you. Like you put the time in and work your ass off and buy your own home. Like you're not evil because you made an investment and sold your soul to buy a home and now you're renting it to somebody. Landlords aren't evil. Now they can be. I mean, there's slumlords, people that buy large buildings and they barely take care of them and they take advantage of like, you know, urban situations where people can't afford. They get locked into shitty agreements and they can barely afford it. I mean, there's bad and good, and those people should be treated like the criminals that they are. But um, like owning the means of production doesn't mean you're evil. It means like okay, when I was a general contractor, I hired a helper. I said, I'll pay you $20 an hour. You're a helper. He had no fucking skills. Someone would say that he should be paid a livable wage and he should be entitled to a portion of the business. And I'm like, the motherfucker doesn't have any skills, first of all. Second of all, he agreed to take the job. So I offered you a position. You agreed to take it. We're both in agreement. Nobody put a gun to your head and said, you have to work for me. And then you're going to bitch at me because you're not making enough money, but you don't have any skills that warrant me paying you more. You're just a douchebag, going to fetch my fucking tools when I ask you and hold the flashlight, Dad. You know, like people they work for McDonald's and want a livable wage. It's like there's no skills that require you paying somebody that works at McDonald's that much money, and it's not supposed to be a job where you fucking retire from anyways. You're supposed to make yourself more valuable by acquiring skills. The more you know how to do, the more valuable you are, and the more people are willing to pay you for what you can do for them. But if you can be replaced by a robot, institutional investors own less than 2% of the whole market. Home prices are. I don't like. Yeah, BlackRock's evil. I agree with that. Zoning laws, restrictions, because of your own people. Who's your own? Who you calling you people? Can I be a journeyman? Yeah, if you learn enough skills. Have you ever ran LR3? I have IGF-1. No. Regular citizens? I don't think I like the way you said that. You people. you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Greatest movie ever. Wait. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. You know what this laugh is from, Mr. Robbie? It's because I dropped that barbell on my neck about a year ago, 6 months ago. Oh, I love this bar, FBA. It's such a cheat code. So imagine you're a power lifter, and you're working from an extended range of motion, so it's going to make your press off your chest that much better. But it does suck. It sucks to use it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, you're a welder? Oh, nice. FBA Hunsley. So, Hust, Lenny. So, most of my construction career has been working with ironworkers. I was a steel worker myself. Yeah, it's so Mr. Amarabi. Yeah, absolutely. I love that camber bar. Now you can use a Duffalo bar or any. I like it for squats because it moves the center of gravity forward. So it changes your moment arm a little bit from your hips to your knees, which works your quads a little more. So then when you do your squat on a platform, it kind of unlocks a little extra power. So it disadvantages your leverages across most of the lifts, so that you're working the range of motion a little bit better, or you're fighting a little bit more against gravity. So then when you do your platform lifts, they all feel way easier. I would say so. The stretch is probably better with dumbbells, but if you're like me and you don't have all the time in the world to work out, it's all about efficiency. Looks like a dick that needs to be straightened. Yeah. Let's see. Bayata. That sounds Russian. What's up? And I also have a 4-inch incline. I don't know if you saw the lumber I got underneath right there. Here we go. I put those are 2x8s, 2x10s. So I got the bench raised just a hair, just to disadvantage myself a little bit. That stuff, got to fix my squat, 405 Nashville in 30 years old. I could probably help with that. Usually I coach people to get their mechanics correct, but I'd have to see some videos. This is, he says, hardcore setup. It's broke ass. No, I've had that half rack forever. I love it though because it's got a really awesome cable machine to it. It's got a 2-to-1 on there, so it's not as jarring as the 1-to-1s that you can buy for the squat racks. So it's just, I don't know. I've had it for such a long time. How did you reforge yourself when you got out? Well, Darius, I spent about not quite 2 decades defiling myself with drugs and alcohol. And then I got overweight. I got blew up to 250 pounds. And then after I got divorced, I decided to sober up. And I replaced drinking with weightlifting. If you work for like a year and save, loan me money, you see. I worked for an ironworking company in Memco for 6 years. Nice. Were they union at all? Not that it matters. Tried to get me to do the connector as an ironworker, and I couldn't get used to it walking across. Dude, it's a certain breed. Connectors are a certain breed, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. And not everybody can get used to walking across beams like that. So basically, when they fly like the headers in, there'll be on a column. There'll be one guy standing up there, and as soon as you fly the column in, he puts a bolt in it. He's got a sleever bar, which looks like a box wrench with a big old pointy end on it. That's for stabbing the bolt hole because it doesn't necessarily swing in evenly. And then as soon as they got 2 bolts connected, he walks across to the other side with the crane still hooked up to it. And they have what's called a catenary line, which is a cable that runs from one end to another, and they clip their harness into it and literally walk across the beam. And it could be 60 stories above the ground. It doesn't matter. Same, I ruined my family quit drinking about 5 years ago. Yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear. Like, I'm glad you're sober, but it's we do some damage. Bro, don't ignore my comments. Say something. As soon as you said "you people," I dipped out of that conversation. How do you feel about Crown Victorias? I think they're awesome, especially we got the 4.6. Uh, the I guess it'd be like a Cleveland-sized engine block. They had the two valve per cylinder 4.6 liter V8s that if you put the Cobra heads on them, which is four valves per cylinder, you could get about 390 horsepower to the crank out of them. They're good engines, but the car's pretty heavy though. Thanks for the thanks for the input. Love a devil dog. Oh no, don't get me wrong. No, I wasn't a connector, brother. No, no. I mean, I was up there because I had to be up there, but I was not a connector. Fuck that. There's plenty of other jobs. You got welders. You got let's see. You got plumb up. I did a lot of plumb up. That still gets pretty hairy. You got the deckers. You got the finish welders. You got the guys that run the yard, which is give me in a big forklift, one of those big like 50,000 pound heisters. uh, why are you old? Why are you old is crazy. Why am I an old man? Because because I survived. I don't know. This guy's tweaking his ass off. That would be fun. It's been a long time since I did that. How do I get buff like you, fool? You gotta hate yourself a little bit and do a lot of steroids and ice cream. He sounds like Beavis and Butthead. So you are definitely a Gen Xer, Great Con, because there's no way anybody gets that reference. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm gonna say a joke that only like 2 out of 1,000 people will understand. Well, I got a Mustang. I got a 2009, and it's got a 4.6. I don't know. Did they make a 4.8? I don't believe they did. Thanks, Great God. Was I wrong though? Steroids are bad for you. How would you know? I say that as a joke, but I'm obviously at 51. It's not like I'm not 100% natural. I don't know how much heavier I'm going to go with this camber bar. If I was doing a regular bench, actually, you know what I might do? I'll do one more set, and then I'll flatten it out and change the bar up. I just hit a wall. You want to invest in my empire? You know what? I'm really thinking about quitting construction and doing this full time. Uh, thanks, Mr. M. Robbie. Is that how you say that? I feel like it worked for you. Yeah. Oh, this is my little deformed arm. I gotta go to this one. Had surgery. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything that would put my family at risk, but I actually do have a business plan. Let's see, we got Kuwa, Anga, What's up? I don't know how to say that. We'll leave it here. All these comments draw my comments. I've seen all your comments, Smart Gamer. I already said I would invest in you, brother. Oh, you gotta wait till I get whatever I'm doing. If Uncle Stuff's going to live live, it'll hurt more. Well, when I was working full time, yes, I'll be the dick. I still streamed pretty frequently, but what I'm talking about is like taking on clients, actually starting to train people. Um, it's tough though, because if I try to do that and work construction full time, I don't know that I would have the energy to dedicate to properly train somebody. So FBA, we are going to offer like a monthly subscription thing. I got a pretty good team. I got a registered nurse practitioner. I got a physical therapist. I got one IFBB pro bodybuilder and one that's retired. And they all help me out. How do I overcome metabolic adaptation? Fasting. Jen, fasting. Get in contact with Jen if you want. My future pockets are open. Well, Smart Gamer, keep in mind, I did ask you to help me get a server going, and I haven't seen anything go wide with that yet. I made a Discord server, but I can't figure out how to connect it with YouTube. Got mouth practitioners. Yeah. A fuck start your face, Shootsy. I've been too busy playing Minecraft. Oh, you want me to give you or transmit something? Steven Sullivan, hell yeah. Well, oh yeah, Steven, I've been actually meaning to talk to you about that too. I'd bust something else wide open. How long you been sober, and what was your DOC? I've been sober since my daughter was born, so she's 10 years old. I was telling everybody it was 2013, but that's not true. I had a relapse about 2 years after that. So it's been 10 years. Drug of choice, yours. I was the guy that would steal your pills and then help you look for them. I have a Microsoft Teams account. Do you work? Now, right now, I'm not working. This is the first time I've taken off since 2012. I've always had a job. Even when I was fucked up, I always had a job. A business one. Well, yeah, I had it set up. You're drunk right now. Fuck yeah, man. I got nothing against anybody that does drugs or drinks. You do you, baby. I don't judge anybody. It's good to have an app like that. People only use it for you. So I got Teams. I got the Google. Well, I've the Google Meet, all that stuff. But how would you? So why would you use Teams as a chat room though? And how would you connect it to YouTube? How would I get that connected with the channel? Because the way YouTube's set up is you can start a membership, and if you join that membership, it gives you access to Discord, and it's built in. Heroin and fentanyl is rough, man. I was hooked on opiates for a while. That's Thomas Cusack, and I'll tell you what, the most people don't. The reason why they don't get sober is because the withdrawals are so severe. It's really hard to get through. Just put the link on your bio. No, but so you can set it up so that if you click on join and you become a member, it automatically enrolls you. Uh, this is the thing about construction. You can be high on drugs. Well, not anymore, unfortunately. So I'm construction safety for a living right now. And this day and age, especially when you work like the big projects and like a union gig, the really high paying ones, they just don't do that anymore. You back in the day, I would say before City Center, which was 2013, there was a lot of that going around, but they killed so many people on that project that it literally changed the way construction was done across the United States. And now, like for any large project, if you want to, drug testing is mandatory. Now, this you can still get by that, but I'm saying it's not nearly as prevalent as it used to be, and because companies are now getting paid and bidding jobs based on their safety record, so they won't even tolerate the liability. Now, the smaller general contractors, I'm sure it's still really prevalent, but um, your bosses must be trembling. uh, just don't be lazy since you're not going to be flooded with members. Just invite them one by one. It's 12:24. Guys, I'm going to call it for the evening. It's midnight. It's 12:30. Um, I want to go to bed. I think I'm going to try to stream You're Gay. What if I was? What's your problem with gay people? I'm in Nevada, Las Vegas. How often do I stream? Since I had surgery, I was only streaming a couple of times. Not even once a week, but now I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm looking at like at least 5 days a week. And I usually do, I try to do at least an hour. Well, let me hit this set. Since I got it on there, I am being a little bit of a bitch. Oh, shit. It's, it's good until it isn't. Yeah, usually I, I try to be more engaging with people in the chat, but well, I got spotter arms. Those little things right there. So the way I got it set up is you put your head behind the half rack so that if you drop it, it's a. But now this thing you gotta be careful with though because it sticks out. That'll still take your teeth out. Everybody the reason why my voice is like this is because I was benching without my spotter arms and I didn't realize it. So I didn't drop the weight. I set it down. And I set it down on my neck. I have the video on my one of my playlists. You can watch me do it. I almost died. For a second there, I did not think I was going to be able to get out of it. Whew. So now I check that every time. When I'm at the commercial gym, I will not use the benches there. I drag one of the benches that they have by the dumbbells. I drag one over to the squat rack. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Will my voice ever go back to normal? I really don't know. I had one of those like Coors Light, the banquet beer, still Sam Elliott, and now I sound like that RFK guy. You're talking about Ozempic. No, you gotta work better than that. Your jokes aren't that funny. Try to work on something. You suck, pecker. Come on, brother. I mean, that's an F plus. If my daughter, 10 years old, could come up with a better insult than you, you're not good. I was just gonna say that. You can sing country. Now go watch some of my earlier videos before I dropped it on my neck. I could sing. I had a really good low, what do they call it? Not baritone singing voice. Well, I'm not trying to roast them 660. I just expect more from my fucking trolls. If you're gonna troll on my channel, you gotta be funny. I don't care if you insult me. It's gotta be good. You suck peck. So I've been reading his dumbass. Go back and read all the comments that he's written. They're just not good. If you make me laugh or you insult me, I will fucking read it and we'll have a good laugh. But if you're just gonna be like, you're gay, like, oh, really got me, bro. Thick burn. And then you got Smart Game over here. He's like, you're not reading my comments. What do you think of Keynesian economics? What do you want, my fucking dissertation? Like I'm a fucking jarhead lifting in his garage at about 1 in the morning. No, I'm just messing with you, brother. Dodgers or Blue Jays? I gotta go with the Blue Jays. On merit. You just have to be a Jays fan because fuck Dodgers fans. Well, I was a Cubs fan for the longest time. That means I didn't even like baseball. We'd be sitting at the cheap seats at Wrigley Field and drinking old style. And be like, who's winning? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know who's playing. Gerald King, this live is officially spot off. See, there's another, like, you suck at trolling, dude. Come up with something funny. Like, you gotta say, like, this stream is gayer than 9 guys trying to fuck 10 guys. Or, like, he looks like she's getting a Blumpkin. Or, where did you go for Marine Boot Camp? Paris Island, baby. This stream's gay. Like, he could suck start a fucking he could suck start a sledgehammer. If he was a hobbit, he'd be Dildo Gaggins. On test, yes, absolutely. Only if you're wearing socks. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, step up there, Jeriel. How are you going to be a troll and not be good at it? Like, think about it. What are you doing with your life if you make a comment like that and it's not even funny? You took the time to go on someone's stream to say something what you thought would be funny or derogatory, and it's neither. It just shows everyone you're retarded. Work on that. I was going to ask why you had so many gay jokes until you mentioned the Marines. Now, yeah, unfortunately, no. Everybody knows the Marines are gay, but they say when you sign up that it's only gay if your dick's touch. But I would definitely change your religion. Now that shit's funny because you gay. What if I was there, Rosa Parks? You got a problem with gay people? I got to report you for hate speech? What's your fucking problem with gay people? Man, just think about it. Oh no, I won't go there. That would get me probably taken off. You sound like Butthead from Beavis. You already used that joke. It was almost funny the first time. So the funny thing is like, Gerald, that's all you guys joke about. Like, come up with something new. Gay jokes aren't even funny anymore. That shit stopped being funny in like 1998. Back when AIDS was, you know, worrisome. Now, that little spot that you have, we all know it's not a cold sore. uh, all right, I've given you like 3 or 4 chances to say something profound or funny, and you've said the same dumb shit over again. So I'm gonna go to bed, boys. Probably with your dad, but I'm the big spoon. All right, I love you all. I'll see you on the battlefield.